loans, give more returns. Get more security and more interest on your fixed deposits from Sri Lanka's largest finance company, LONC Finance.
Hi, I'm Shehani, the founder of RUACH. I'm here to answer the questions with Living Today.
Today we have with us Shehani Guruge, the creator and founder of RUACH, a brand that's focused on the everyday woman with timeless, casual, elegant and versatile clothing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So our first question, what inspired you to become a fashion designer, particularly in the realm of chic women's wear?
Alright, so as you know, all women love clothes. We really love our clothes, and I think since I was really small, I wanted new stuff. Like, I didn't want to wear the same thing over and over again. I would get really bored. So I remember with all the clothes I had, like, I would pair them differently, and my friends would be like, oh, you always wear new clothes, and I was like, no, I have paired it differently. You have seen this a million times. And later on, I think towards my teens, like, I couldn't find clothes probably that would uplift me or make me happy, because I wanted to feel positive, I wanted to feel comfortable, and most importantly, just to feel uplifted. So I couldn't find clothes at that point that would interest me. So I used to purchase fabric and give my own designs and get it stitched, and I used to love it. And later on, my friends and close family used to be like, oh, these are really nice pieces, from where did you purchase it? So, and I said, oh, I created it. And so it gave me so much joy and satisfaction. And later on, I actually started making clothes for them, and it was home-based. And I was like, at that point, I didn't even think that I would end up in this field. So I decided to further study on this subject matter. And once I was done with uni, I was like, okay, I need to get a job in fashion. So I found a job, and it was from 9 to 10. It was more like 10 to 7. And I remember quitting in 3 days. I know, so bad. So afterwards, I was like, this 9 to thing is not me. I can't do it. So I was like, okay, the easy way out is having your own brand. And well, I was so wrong. And after that, I'm like, oh boy. But I'm so glad I chose this field, and I'm happy in the clothes that I wear. Despite whatever the situation is, I want to always feel confident in what I wear.
Can you share some key influences or sources of inspiration that have shaped your design aesthetic?
Okay, so in terms of RUACH, I always looked at the brand. I always thought of myself. What do I like to wear? And what do I feel comfortable in? What do I feel uplifted in? And I always wanted designs that make me feel better. And I know a lot of women out there want clothes that will make them feel good. And so I always have these emotional connections sometimes with my clothing and the pieces that I create. I know when it comes to influences and inspiration, I know we can draw inspiration from anything and everything around us, but I truly value people and their emotions and what they really feel. So I always think when someone buys something from RUACH, I was like, I really hope they feel uplifted and they feel good about themselves, and most importantly, feel confident. And I really love supporting women, so that's what RUACH is all about.
In the fast-paced world of fashion, how do you ensure that your designs maintain relevance while still staying true to the timeless nature of your brand RUACH?
Okay, So ever since the inception of the brand, we have had a couple of designs which we still continue. And for someone who is outside, they might say, "Oh, we have seen this, we have bought this." But if you actually go behind the scenes, where we actually research and we try to add a newness or freshness towards that particular piece, maybe it may be an intricate detail, maybe the color or the fabric or the flow of it. It's something that the consumer may not see. Some may see, some may not. And for me, what I truly believe is just go in, even if it takes time and even if it's slow pace, and if you think that works for you, I think that's the way for it. And some may think okay, this works, this doesn't work. Everyone is not going to have that same outlook on your brand. So you need to do what you feel is right and what you truly believe, and at some point it will just boom. I would say.
What role does sustainability play in your design philosophy, especially when choosing fabrics and creating garments that are both timeless and eco-friendly?
Yes. So again, if I go back to 2016 when I started RUACH, I remember my first collection. At that time I was like, wow, this is so amazing, this is really good and exciting. It was an utter flop. Okay, but I remember seeing all these scrap pieces of fabric, but it was so beautiful, and I remember collecting all this fabric and putting it into this big garbage bag, but I didn't want to throw it. I felt like a connection, and I was like, it's a lot of fabric when you say off-cut, scraps, whatever it is. It may be all these jagged edges or whatnot, but I kept contemplating one day, and I was like, what could I do with this? Because I felt so bad to throw it, and that's when I actually decided to create hair accessories, and that's what you see around the store today. So initially we started making hair accessories out of these scraps, and all these offcuts. Ultimately, I am so happy to say that we managed to add value and bring life to it. And also, not just the hair accessories, we also have a couple of things in the pipeline. Unfortunately, I cannot reveal it right now, but I'm so glad that we are able to utilize this fabric and add value to them.
How do you envision RUACH evolving in the future while continuing to uphold your commitment to honoring the everyday woman?
Yes. So RUACH started as an online store on Instagram, and then later to create brand awareness, we started doing pop-up sales, and then we actually started retailing at a couple of stores in Colombo that I'm truly grateful for having our brand and to having our own store today. It has been quite a journey, and so I believe that we always want to support locals. We value the people who work for us, and like for example, our envision obviously is to take RUACH globally and to ensure that we have our brand in each nation. Because if you purchase an item from overseas, you might see, we'll only see made in Sri Lanka, but we are making it for someone else. But it would be so nice to have our own culture and the people who's working behind each of these brands to take it over there. And we definitely want to introduce our heritage and culture and showcase it, and to most importantly, like I said previously, to uplift in each woman, not just locally but globally.
curb corruption, one must be courageous to confront and rise up against the corrupt. Sleep well. Be guided by ethics and standards for peace of mind.
Refresh Sri Lanka for a civic-minded society. LMD, the voice of business.
Welcome back to the show. We are heading into a fun segment right now. So I have 21 questions for you and let's see what you have to say.
All right.
If you could travel to any point back in time, what year would you choose and why?
Oh my gosh. Probably, I don't know if I would travel back in time. I don't think I would travel back in time because I think if I didn't go through what I had to go through, I wouldn't be here today. So I don't think I would travel back in time.
What are a few things that are at the top of your bucket list?
Top of my bucket list, to travel more, to get more dogs, and sorry mama, and get a pig.
What decision do you look back on and say, what was I thinking?
I would say, I don't know if I would look back and say what was, I can't think of anything at the top of my mind right now, but I don't think I would really say what was I thinking. Probably I thought about it and that's why I did it.
If you could give your 16-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? And would you have listened to your own advice?
Probably I would have said not to be too harsh on myself and probably chill, relax.
And you would have listened to that advice?
Possibly, I don't know.
What is the first thing you would do if you won the lottery?
Oh my gosh. I'll definitely travel the world for sure. That's what I want to do, and buy more dogs. Sorry mom, my parents are actually looking after my 3 dogs, so I still feel bad.
What is the most embarrassing thing you've done in public?
Walked into a lamppost.
That must have been painful.
It was, and embarrassing.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Interesting. What would you title this chapter of your life?
The season.
If you could relive any part of your life so far, which part would you choose and why?
I think I would love to relive the part where I had to do multiple activities, because I used to be involved in sports and extracurricular activities, and I really enjoyed it. And I also love studying, I know. But I think I would relive it again, just for a brief period.
Who would you want to sit next to on a flight across the world and why?
I think I would choose my husband because he is probably the most fun and interesting person that I would want to travel with.
Okay. This is right up your alley. If you could be any kind of dog, what breed would you be?
Oh my gosh, I don't think my Labradors, because they're so clumsy, but I would say a Great Dane.
Do you think the convenience of the internet is worth the loss of privacy that comes with it?
Internet is definitely convenient. In terms of privacy, it depends on what you decide to put out there.
What music album could you play on repeat for hours at a time?
I would say Bohemian Rhapsody.
What's the love with Bohemian Rhapsody?
I think because I performed in one of the musicals with workshop players, so I think that's still stuck in my head even though it was a while ago.
What is the healthiest and unhealthiest thing you do regularly?
Healthiest thing is probably eating, and also unhealthiest thing is also eating all the junk.
Do you have a hidden talent? If so, what is it?
I probably could imitate people.
If you could describe yourself in 3 emojis, what would they be?
I would say the poop emoji. You can ask my husband, I don't want to say anything on camera. That, and always I would use the sarcastic emoji a lot, and probably the laughing emoji.
How would your friends describe you and how would your colleagues describe you?
I think most of them would say comical. I have a quick tongue and I'm witty, so that's what they would say.
Both, your friends and your colleagues?
Yes.
Okay. If you're in a bad mood, what would cheer you up every single time?
Food.
Of course. What is the worst lie you've heard an influential person say?
Thing is, I have a memory of a goldfish, so I'm really bad at these things. I cannot think of anything as such, because when people say things, it just goes out of the other ear. I don't really keep it in my head, so sorry, I don't know the answer to that.
What is your guilty pleasure? We probably may know the answer to this as well.
Food.
Yeah. How would you be useful in a zombie apocalypse?
Probably I'll make everyone laugh and like scream and run, and probably I'll run towards them and take them with us. I don't know what I will do.
Go crazy.
Yes, just go crazy with them.
And that's a wrap with our discussion today with Shehani. Thank you very much for being on the show with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much of fun. Here are my answers for the questions and the game. Make sure to check out Levin's Instagram and Facebook page for more episodes.